I'll be using these funds to bring the promoters together so that they can look at other kinds and forms of entertainment other than just playing recorded music. Things like talent shows and beauty contests and other things like that, live music that will enrich the entertainment offering and make it more vibrant. So I think, Mr. Speaker, that this project will help to enhance the quality of life of the people of West Central St. Andrew and help to move them from poverty to prosperity.
You like that one, eh?
You like, definitely. I'll send you a note. Mr. Speaker, when I became the Member of Parliament, for West Central St. Andrew, as a community, we sat together and developed a vision of what we wanted for the community. Mr. Speaker, we have not achieved all that we have set out to accomplish, but we can boast significant developments in relation to commerce, law enforcement, education, and community development. The people of West Central St. Andrew are forging ahead. They have stepped up and they have embraced the vision of moving from poverty to prosperity. Mr. Speaker, a thematic description of Jamaica during our independent statehood is development delayed. We are a people of so much promise, of potential, but we never seem to be able to fulfill that promise or realize our potential in a timely way. We often use the comparison of Singapore and Jamaica, a tale of two countries that started at similar levels of development 50 years ago. But today, the two countries have secured contrasting outcomes for their citizens. Singapore has stepped up and has moved its people from poverty to prosperity. We can, Mr. Speaker, do the same for Jamaica. In 1962, Jamaica's GDP per capita in current US dollar terms was approximately $460 for every Jamaican living in the country at the time. $460. Singapore's GDP per capita in 1962 was estimated at US $470 for every Singaporean living at the time. That means when you take the country's GDP and you divide it up per man, that is what every man would get. Fast forward to the present. Over 50 years later, Jamaica's GDP per capita in 2013 was estimated at US $5,290 for each of the estimated 2.8 million residents in Jamaica. Singapore's GDP per capita in 2013 was US $55,182 per person in their 5.5 million population. I think we should allow that to soak in a little bit. How has Singapore been able to grow its economy to the point where its GDP per man is more than 10 times that of Jamaica when we started out at the same place? Today in Singapore, a cleaner earns the equivalent of 100,000 Jamaican dollars per month. A similar person employed in Jamaica would earn just about $22,000. Mr. Speaker, this is what you call underdevelopment. I raise the comparison, Mr. Speaker, not to make an academic point. Not an academic point. Neither do I raise it, and Minister of Finance, you can feel comfortable about this. I don't raise it to make a political point either. The real point to be made is that the movement from poverty to prosperity for our people is possible. It is possible. I know some people believe that in their lifetime, Jamaica will never see the type of transformation and growth that led to Singapore's first world quality of life. Singapore is now ranked 9th in the world on the Human Development Index, which measures quality of life, while Jamaica is ranked 96th of 183 countries. I know that our youth, with 50 years ahead of them, don't all believe that Jamaica will ever be able to provide them with education, employment, and opportunities sufficient to achieve the quality of life they deserve. It is no wonder that over 50% of university graduates would migrate if given the chance. The real issue here, Mr. Speaker, is hope. That's the real issue that needs to be discussed in Jamaica today. We have to give hope to our people. We have been so disappointed, frustrated, and jaded by our experiences over the last 50 years as a people that we have developed a coping mechanism, which is not to believe, not to trust, not to have faith, not to have hope. This is dangerous. It means we will have low expectations of our leaders. Public accountability will be low. Standards will fall. Corruption, inefficiency, and wastage will be high. Voter participation will be low. Governments will be determined by a tribal minority. There is a willingness to accept the status quo, to keep things as they are for fear that they cannot be better and are likely to get worse. Worst of all, the condition of hopelessness means that our children will stop dreaming, in which case the possibility of their future is limited by the problems of today. Mr. Speaker, our vision for Jamaica is to bring back hope. Many of us from the post-independence generation have decided that we will not sit back and allow our country to remain underdeveloped. We know that we can move the current state of poverty to prosperity. We know how to do it, and it begins with education. Mr. Speaker, we want our children to start dreaming again. The education system is the first place where the minds of our people can be liberated to think past our problems, to dream of things that never were and say, why not? Instead of accepting things as they are, status quo, and ask, why bother? Mr. Speaker, the education system is the best vehicle for emancipation from mental slavery. There are approximately 800,000 Jamaicans between the ages 3 and 24 enrolled in the education system, representing approximately 75% of the total school-age population. At any one time, close to a third of the country's population is under the direct institutional control and direction of the state through the education system. This is the